In 1084, the Pope asks for an army to attack Spain. Spain was, at that time, majority controlled by Muslims. The furthest north city that the Muslims owned in 1084 was a city called Barbastro. And so the Pope asks for a Christian army to go to Barbastro and take it. 1/4 of that army was a group of Normans. When they capture the city, at first they're pillaging it, they're slaughtering people, but the Normans decide they like the place and they stay, and the majority of the population is still Arab and it's still Muslim, and the Normans who stay start dressing like the Arabs and they learn Arabic, and they're really digging Arab society, and they go Indian, right? They go native. And it shocks everybody because it's like, wait, these French-speaking, blue-eyed, blonde Vikings are in Spain learning Muslim culture. And in a way, when you think about it, all three of these events that I just described are like little precursor crusades. In 1095, the Pope holds 2 conventions. I think both of them were in November. And Alexius Komnenos, Alexius I, the Roman Emperor, comes to Italy. And this isn't a small thing, because Italy isn't Roman. In fact, the Pope in Rome and the Roman Empire have had a falling out that has lasted centuries, and they hate each other's guts a lot, not a little bit, a lot. So what happened was, as the Roman Empire was disintegrating, they managed to hold on to pieces of Italy, including the city of Rome. But the Pope in Rome didn't like that because the original church had 5 patriarchs. So the Orthodox Catholic Church, Orthodox is truth, Catholic is universal. So the Universal Truth Church, that was the original name of the Christian church. It had already had a schism. The Copts in Egypt had broken away in 284. But in the 700s, the church was still unified. But the Pope in Rome came to resent the circumstances because the 5 patriarchs were the Pope in Rome, the Pope in Alexandria, the Patriarch of Antioch, and the Patriarch of Constantinople, and the Archbishop of Jerusalem. In other words, the original Christian church had 5 heads. 2 popes, 2 patriarchs, and an archbishop. By the way, Pope came from, the Pope would have his child on his knee, and then people would come to kiss his ring, and they would hear the child saying, "Papa, Papa," and then it just stuck. Do you want me to say that again? The Pope would have his child on his knee. You know, his kid, because the original Catholic Church didn't have a celibacy thing. They did the celibacy thing later so that they could make sure that the clergy didn't pass churches and church property down in their wills, and illegitimate children in Europe couldn't inherit. So that's why that happened. It wasn't to stop the popes from having babies, it was to stop the popes from having legitimate babies. It wasn't to stop the clergy from having families, it's just to stop the clergy from having legitimate families so they couldn't pass on church land.